even though this quad has prop ducts, I was interested in it for a couple of reasons. So who knows who's actually making this quad? They're just rebranded to whatever anybody wants to rebrand them as. But what I recognized was that the stack that it's using is the SpeedX stack. Now, this is a 20 by 20 stack, but SpeedX has designed this stack to be very lightweight, and it's designed for WOOOOOOOOO products and WOOOOOOOOO-like products. It's just easier to fit all the stuff on a 20 by 20 board rather than a 16 by 16 board, so I don't blame them for that. This is a 2S and a 3S stack. It does not work on 1S. But the performance on 2S and 3S is freaking stellar. Of the 3 or 4 products that I've used that use this stack and the 2 quads that I've built with this stack, I have been really impressed with the performance. It is of the most consistent performing stacks that I've used in this general size class. It's just 20 by 20, which is frustrating because it's just a little bit bigger than I want it to be for things of this size class. However, like I said, it is a lightweight stack, so it's something that I might consider moving towards because we still don't have a small 16 by 16 or all-in-one board that is fully reliable. And this board I have found to be maybe not more reliable because I haven't tested it enough, but I have found it to be better overall performance, meaning the ESCs don't dip weirdly. There isn't any weird like control inputs or changes. It just performs really well. And by the end of this, you'll see why I'm really impressed with it. So the rest of the quad is fine. It's got a carbon substructure. It's actually a 1.5 millimeter, I think. Yeah, 1.5 millimeter substructure. It's got a run cam Robin in there. Frame feels really sturdy and strong. It comes with extra prop ducts. I'm running it on these two 2S batteries, which I like the GMB batteries a lot. I think they're some of the best batteries in this size class. And also this Happy Model 3S battery just to test, even though I'll get to it. So it's got the 4-in-1, the flight controller, and the VTX on board. I'm pretty sure it's a 200 milliamp VTX. The other reason why I was so drawn to this quad was because the motors are 1103, at least they say they're 1103 10,000 kV. And as we've recently learned, the kV written on the bell of these motors is not often very accurate. And in this case, I would say it probably is a little bit higher than 10,000 kV. But the motors do feel good. They do have bearings in them. They're regular mounting, M2 9x9 mounting, so very thankful for that. But the problem is that the kV is just too high. And the other recent thing that I've learned from Micromotor Test Lab and Ethan and just talking to a couple other people about motors is that when these micromotors pass a certain kV range for the size, they tend to draw a lot more amps. So just an extra 1,000 kV above, the general range of the motor where it performs the best, you start getting so many more amps, it might even double with just 1,000 kV more. And that's just 10% more kV on a 10,000 kV motor. In this size range, I have found 7,500 to 9,000 kV to be the optimal-ish range, depending on what kind of motor you're using, 1102, 1103, whatever. And so you're watching it fly right now, and I've set the voltage alarm on this quad lower than it normally should be. Now the minimum voltage at 2.9 is what I would set my regular micro quads to as my ending warning voltage. Land, don't fly anymore, I don't want to ruin the battery, that kind of voltage, the absolute minimum. But what you'll notice is that this quad has really awful flight time because I charged this 450 milliamp 2S battery to 4.27 volts on my charger. Of course it didn't read out as 4.27 in the quad, but it doesn't really matter because the flight time is just so incredibly low, it's almost alarming. So the quad is generally inefficient because it has prop guards, but the motors are making it doubly less efficient because they're just too high kV for this size quad. And I don't know about the props. I'm sure you can find better props that are more efficient, but I don't think it's going to make a drastic change with respect to the flight time and the efficiency of the quad. And so this is also the reason why I say I'm really impressed with this ESC board performance, because with this much load on the ESC, it's still performing remarkably well. There is no inconsistency in ESC performance, which is very impressive to me because I've flown very few micros that have no inconsistencies in ESC performance. You usually have to go through a couple of crazy V or get bar C boards to find one that really performs to your liking, to the high standards that at least I hold all my quads to. So yeah, that's really all I wanted to point out. This is actually a great quad. I really do like it a lot. It's really sturdy. It performs really well despite having prop guards and all this stuff. It's not a fast quad, although if you do give it the gas with this high KV, of course it's going to go fast. It's generating a lot of power. But if the KV range was within the normal range, it would be, you know, not quite that fast. So do I recommend it? Yeah, I think this is actually one of the most quality quads, micro quads that I've flown or I've seen. However, it's just unfortunate that the motors are just a little bit too high KV. So if you want to buy this, I don't know how much it is, but if it's cost effective enough to buy this and kind of transfer it onto other quads, keep in mind the motors are a little bit high KV, and even if you build something like a toothpick class build with large props, you are going to have to do a significant throttle cut, probably down to about 60%, just to, you know, not kill your batteries and not need so much battery that it's just so overloaded. Oh yeah, the all-up weight of this thing is about 85 grams with the 2S 450 milliamp battery, which is a little bit porky for something of this stature, but it's not enough for me to think that that's the reason why the flight time is so low. Okay, that's it. Hopefully this is helpful. Don't forget to floss your teeth. Bye-bye.